The Hollywood machine has been trying its hardest to reboot The Crow for the better part of a decade now.
Suddenly, I heard a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door.
The trick is that so much of the 1994 film rested on the shoulders of its lead, Brandon Lee, who was tragically killed in an on-set accident that involved a malfunctioning prop gun.
Everybody waits for him to get up, and he didn't get up. He just stayed there.
In the wake of that, a lot of the mystique around The Crow has been tied to that eerie coincidence that Lee died playing a character who was killed in the prime of his life. But it would seem that after many failed attempts and truly terrible direct-to-video sequels, a full-on, big-budgeted reboot of The Crow is finally happening.
We killed you, man. You're dead.
Sorry to disappoint you.
The Hollywood Reporter says that none other than Pennywise himself, It and It Chapter 2 star Mr. Bill Skarsgård, is set to play Eric Draven in this reboot. It'll be directed by Rupert Sanders, who you may remember as the director of Snow White and the Huntsman, and written by Oscar-nominated King Richard screenwriter Zach Baylin. The film is supposedly set to shoot this summer in Prague and Munich, with a budget in the $50 million range. The series needed a little time to rest after a string of edgelord sequels that starred folks like Vincent Perez, Eric Mabius, and Edward Furlong. Nonetheless, in recent years, there have been many rumblings of a resurrection. In 2014, Corin Hardy signed on as director with Luke Evans locked in to star. Evans bowed out shortly thereafter and was replaced by Jack Huston, who you may know from Boardwalk Empire. This version of the movie got far enough to cast the great Andrea Riseborough as its villain before it too fell apart in early 2016.
Try hard. Try again.
Hardy was pulled back in by Jason Momoa, who signed on for what they promised would be an R-rated adaptation that would honor the original source material. By 2018, The Crow reboot was once again dead as both Momoa and Hardy departed the project, which stalled out while seeking its $40 million budget, not to mention the glut of creative differences between the filmmaker and producer, the late Samuel Hadida. Those are just the notable close calls. Over the last 10 years, everybody from Rob Zombie and Bradley Cooper to Tom Hiddleston and Channing Tatum has been rumored to be involved in the reboot. Honestly, can you really say you've been a noteworthy leading man in the past decade of Hollywood history, unless you've been rumored to star in The Crow? The answer is no. So the real question is whether or not this iteration will actually make it in front of cameras. We're inclined to think it has a fighting chance. To put it in frank commercial terms, The Crow is known enough that a reboot makes sense in this day and age, where there are so many content providers desperate for recognizable movies and TV shows. Here at SlashFilm, we're most intrigued by Bill Skarsgård in the Eric Draven role. Skarsgård can obviously be quite intimidating. Heck, he's famous for playing a creepy clown.
And action. Yeah, that's beautiful.
That quality is very much in line with the Eric Draven from the comics and original film. Momoa would have been a more intimidating version of the character in life than in death, which makes us think he was the wrong choice for the part despite being undeniably charismatic. Skarsgård as a spirit hell-bent on revenge is way more off-putting, more horror-driven, and that's very interesting to us. Plus, Skarsgård has been looking for a project that can truly showcase his leading man potential. Sure, an entire generation of people know him and were traumatized by him as Pennywise from the It movies, but that's a hard role to turn into a movie star career.
Tasty, tasty, beautiful fear.
Hundreds of millions of dollars worth of moviegoers being terrified of you doesn't automatically mean you're in the position to headline a Marvel movie. However, The Crow may be the perfect solution. After all, this is a comic book movie, but it's dripping with horror potential, including monsters and creepy imagery. This could be the role that bridges the gap for Skarsgård.
What are you supposed to be, a clown or something?
Sometimes.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more SlashFilm videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.